Welcome back to my channel, guys. My name is Katie, and today we are talking about all the books that I read in May plus my ratings. If you are looking for recommendations, all these books are going to be romance books, some of them spicy, some of them like more mellow, but we're going to talk about the 9 books that I did read in May. I think this is my highest month ever. I don't think I've ever no, I might have read 10 books one month. I can't remember, but I'm pretty impressed with myself. A lot of them are audiobooks. I did read a couple like ebooks slash physical, changing it up. I like to have like a physical and an audiobook, or not a physical, like an ebook slash physical and an audiobook at the same time, just to like have options when I'm like wanting to read, but like maybe I don't want to stare at the book. I am using Scribd for most of my audiobooks. I am going to start with all of the books that I either listened to on audiobook or read on Kindle, and then we'll save the best one for last, which is a physical book. So the first book that I completed in May, I think I started this book in April but finished it in May, was Bluff by Ashley Jade. This book was the second book to the series Complicated Parts. I think I accidentally included this one in my April reads. This book was the second book, Complicated Parts, and it was like a spin-off. I think there's 3 books of the Complicated Hearts duet series by Ashley Jade. Those were really good. I loved the Complicated Hearts. The Complicated Parts, those 2 books weren't my favorite. I gave that a 3 out of 5. Yes, a 3 out of 5. It was just, I don't know, it was kind of bland, but I still enjoyed it because I was like kind of invested in the characters at that point because I read the Complicated Heart series, so I had to keep reading. But I don't think I can read the 3rd book. I'm just gonna skip that book. I'm not even gonna talk about what it's about because it's just, I don't remember. And we have a little a little cameo from Little Callip. This is Calliope. If you remember her from my earlier, or a couple weeks ago videos, she was much smaller. Now she's getting big. The second book I read was also an audiobook, and it was The Devil by Ashley Jade. I was really interested in more books by Ashley Jade because I really like that Complicated Hearts. This one was okay. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I know there's multiple books in this series, but I felt like the first book wasn't enough for me, and I don't know if I can keep reading, to be honest. I enjoyed it for what it was, but it was okay. I don't even remember what it was about. I'm gonna say that about every freaking book. The 3rd book was a book that I was seeing everywhere. I'm a part of a lot of like Facebook groups that just like recommend books, obviously TikTok and sometimes Instagram I get recommendations, but I was seeing this book literally everywhere, so I had to read it. I read it on Kindle Unlimited, and it was The Confidence of Wildflowers. And I also read The Resurrection of Wildflowers, which is the 2nd book of the series. These are both by Michaela Smeltzer. And the first book, I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads, but I'd probably give it like a 4.5. This book I read in one sitting. You can view the video that I made wherever it is in the cards up here. But it was really good. I really like the story. This girl, I can't remember her name of course, but she lives with her mom and sister, and they live in this house, and they just moved there because their dad died and he was abusive towards all of them. And then somebody moves into next door to their house, and that turns out to be Thayer, and they start like a whole romance situation. And I feel like the book was almost perfect up until like the last quarter of it. Like 3/4 of the book was perfect, then the last quarter was just like insane, like everything happened at once. So I'm reading this book and I'm like, okay, when is the bad stuff gonna happen? Like nothing bad's happening, and then it all happened at once. I do love some drama, so that's why I gave it such a high score, because it was like perfect romance and then drama. The 2nd book, I gave a 4 out of 5, probably like a 3.75 out of 5. That book was complete perfection. I don't think anything bad happened in the book, and so that just made me kind of like not like it as much. Like there was no turmoil. I mean, maybe there was a little bit here and there, but it wasn't like big stuff. There was a little bit of turmoil, but it wasn't like anything with the main characters, like their relationship. It was just perfect. So it's a good read. They're very quick reads, but they are perfect. If that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. So the next book that I read was a Colleen Hoover book. I'm trying to make my way through her books, and it is Maybe Not, which is the 1.5, a novella of the Maybe series. The first book is Maybe Someday, and then there's a book after this one, I'm pretty sure. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. It was literally like a 2-hour listen. It was so quick because it was a novella, and it was just a spin-off of the roommate's romance from the first book. I think it was pretty like sexy or spicy, and that was it. That was the whole book. And then I similarly, it was like almost the same book, I swear, Finding Cinderella by Colleen Hoover. It's the 1.5, again, a novella of, 2.5, of Hopeless, which first book is Hopeless, second book is Losing Hope, third book is Finding Cinderella, 2.6 is Finding Perfect. So I didn't read Losing Hope just because it's the same story as Hopeless. It's just told in a different perspective. So I thought I'd try Finding Cinderella. Again, it's like a spin-off of the Friends romance, and it was good. It was like, again, a little sexy, spicy situation. So I am just trying to check off my Colleen Hoover books. I want to read Finding Perfect, but I just haven't found it yet. All right, guys, the last book that I read on audiobook was The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. I heard a lot of good things about this book, but I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I sometimes like when I'm reading a lot of romance books, I like switching it up with like a mystery or suspense or something. I didn't love it. It was about this couple, and he had a kid, they were married, and then he like disappears all of a sudden, and she's like left with his child, who's probably like 16 or something. And then they like go on a hunt to try to find him, and then they find out all these secrets and like all this stuff. And I just didn't love it. Like, I mean, I read the whole thing, but it just wasn't doing it for me. So that was like a weird one to read. And then I really needed something to like boost my situation. So I read Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I wish I had the new cover because it's so cute, but this one's cute too. And I gave this book a 5 out of 5. I really liked it. I listened to it on audiobook even though I have the physical. I know I said that I saved the physical for last week. That doesn't matter. And it was alternating timelines. So it was like now, and then it would go in the past, and then it come now. They were like best friends when they were younger, and now they met each other again when they were older, and they're in like totally different places in life. It was just so cute, and I really liked it. I think there was some parts that I didn't love, but it didn't take away from the story. I'm sure you've heard so much about this book, so go watch some reviews, but I gave it a 5 out of 5. So guys, that is all the books that I read in May. I might finish one more because it is only May 27th, but I'm going out of town. I'm going to be driving, so I'll probably listen to one on audiobook, but I'll just include that one in my next month's reading wrap up or talk about it like in between May and June. I'm actually reading The Worst Best Man right now, so I'll probably finish that one if I can keep connected. I have the hardest time like keeping stories going. Like if I'm not connected to it in like 2 minutes, it's out. So that is all I read. Let me know in the comments below what book recommendations you have for me. I'd love to hear it. I'm always looking for new ones. I also want to read Things He Never Told Me, Things He Told Me, whatever that's called. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you guys soon. Talk soon. Bye. See ya. Peace out. This is what's on my lap right now. This is on my lap. Isn't she so adorable? Oh, she's so cute.